Welcome back to the Urban Ranch, episode 26. Of the 8 original fireplaces in the Urban Ranch, we've chosen to preserve 2 of these and make them usable. In an effort to figure out how the fireplace in the kitchen pulls a draft, we chose to have a small fire. You might consider this romantic. Well, I know, I'm just that kind of guy. Well, the test run went well until we began seeing smoke literally billowing from behind the chimney, further adding evidence to the need for relining the chimneys. We partnered with Blackburn's chimney sweeps to do this. And while at first glance you might think this would be a fairly straightforward project, it just doesn't go that way on the Urban Ranch. What the chimney sweep team was charged with doing was to break apart the clay tiles that line the chimney. They did this utilizing a bucket lift outside and ran a device that breaks the tiles, allowing them to fall down the chimney flue. Unfortunately, the tiles eventually clog the chimney, and then they have a device that they use with a pole, one from above and one from below, to further break the tile chunks up so that they fall down to the firebox. This process took nearly a week to complete, very tedious, and as you can imagine, very dirty. Fortunately, in the process, they did not break any of the bricks on the exterior of the home, just a few on the inside, which Rubelia was able to repair without issue. Once the old clay tiles are removed, the chimney sweep team pulls a stainless steel 8-inch diameter liner down each of the 2 flues and parged the smoke chamber to ensure the firebox is safe for fires. Once the flues were relined, we then needed to address the firebox itself. Here's an example of parging the smoke box, and you can see on the left there what it had looked like, and then parging. This is chamber safe. That's the material that they use to actually do that parging. Fortunately, they did a great job of keeping the area as clean as possible throughout this. The initial plan in addressing the firebox was to place fire bricks around the perimeter. You can see here they've started putting the floor, which were not necessary as we've already redone the floor with new concrete, and then placing those fire bricks around the outside here. As I got kind of moving along, fortunately, Crystal was able to come over and take a look at this. And unfortunately, it just wasn't the aesthetic that we were really looking for, with that contrast between those new fire bricks and the existing fireplace. So, fortunately, we found a much more pleasing alternative. It's basically a tinted parge material that is similar, that is also made by Chamber Safe. Earl, again, and the crew from Blackburn's very receptive to kind of the feedback on the aesthetic that we're going for, and you can see some of the concern Crystal had. So we're fortunately able to pull those fire bricks back out and come back at another day with the tinted parge material. You can see it goes on kind of just like a mortar or a grout would. Again, this will make the fireplaces up to code for use. Now, while the guys did a great job of placing that parged material in there, what I did was I came back then with a grouting sponge and a bucket of warm water to really kind of smooth that whole aesthetic out, really kind of clean up those lines and just kind of give it a little bit more of a finish to it. And you can tell, happy owner, happy wife, happy fireplace. Lastly, we're also adding a third fireplace in the new addition of the home, and in keeping with the Urban Ranch theme of uniquely modern with traditional sensibilities, the new fireplace is more of a modern style. More images of this will be featured in future video updates. You can see the guys here going ahead and getting that installed, and this is from a company called Urbana. And here's kind of a depiction of what that fireplace will look like eventually. Three-sided glass structure. Right there in the living room. So, as we like to say, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and more to come on the Urban Ranch version 2.0.